Hey y'all, hey, it's Galanda B, and today we are talking about think, as in before you speak. If you're new here, I'm Galanda B, and I'm an emotional awareness coach, and I am dedicated to helping you connect and understand with your emotions, enabling you to experience greater joy and peace in your life. Okay, so today's topic is brought to you by an interaction that I had online recently. I am the admin in a particular group, and in this group, someone posted asking for some information, and several people responded with value added responses based on what the person was asking. But then there was one person who basically made a snide comment questioning why that person was even asking that. And the tone was just not nice, right? And so let me share that this is a yoga based group. And this is important because later in the story, I'm going to reference some yoga principles. Anywho, so I responded that, we could be more respectful in our responses, that there could be a lot of reasons of why that person asked what they asked. And um, that, if there's a post that you don't agree with or it's not your particular stance, you do have the freedom to simply scroll by, right? And I'm going to pause there for a minute because I want to share with all of you, okay, that you can always just say nothing. You are not obligated to respond to everything. And you might find that when you choose not to respond to some things, that your life is more peaceful. Okay, moving on. So the person responded to me and said that there was nothing disrespectful about what they said and that maybe I meant more mindful. But it didn't matter because they were going to remove themselves from the group. And they ended their statement with respectfully. Now, I don't know what your experience is, but my experience is when someone says respectfully at the end, they don't really mean that. It actually means the opposite. They mean to be disrespectful. Okay? So I told them, I responded in kind and said, yes, mindful is another option to use, right? Um, and that, they were absolutely free to choose whatever groups that they want to participate in, and that respectfully was not necessary when practicing um, the principles in yoga that we call Ahimsa and Satya, right? And Ahimsa is talking about nonviolence, and Satya is talking about truthfulness. So if you're being kind or nonviolent and truthful, there's no need for respectfully, right? And I wanted to talk about this um, because, you know, the original poster just wanted some information, right? And some people got it. They didn't ask for people's personal opinion about what they were asking. And so that brought me to let me remind the people about the acronym THINK, right? You want to use this, and you can use this in various aspects of your life before responding, okay? The first letter of think, of course, is T. And it stands for, or it infers for you to ask the question, is it true? Right? And in this particular case, the contentious responder was asserting their opinion about a certain thing. And so if they had asked themselves, well, is it true what I'm saying? And used some reflection, they might have realized that, well, there's no basis in fact for what I'm saying. It's simply my opinion, which is fine too, right? But it would have failed the first test of think before responding, right? The second letter is H, which is it helpful? So the question to ask yourself is what I'm going to say or respond, is it going to be helpful? In this case, it was an absolute no. Why? Because the person was asking for specific information and that person did not provide it. Okay? So if they had asked themselves, they somehow say, yeah, it's true. But if they had asked, is it helpful? The answer would have been no. And they could have kept their response to themselves. The third is I, and it stands for is it inspiring? And so this one is a little bit flexible in that not all answers are going to inspire, so to speak, but inspire means generate um, to generate a person to be motivated to do something. And again, the contentious responder, all they did was um, create an environment that felt hostile with their comment. So it definitely wasn't inspiring. Okay. And then the N is it necessary? Okay. This is a big one. And then this is one that I offer to people to really ask themselves, is it necessary to say or respond in the way that I feel like I want to respond? Necessity comes into play like, is what I'm going to say going to make or break the situation? That's like the easy way to think about it. Is it going to provide some value add? That's what necessary is about, value add. If not, then keep it to yourself. Okay. And then the K, is it kind? And again, this is like inspiring. This can be a little, fluid. Not everything is going to be kind, but is you might think of the K in terms of the tone that you're using. And in this case, this person's tone was very accusatory and judgmental, not like the judgment that I was talking about in that other video, but in terms of that this person shouldn't have even asked the question in the first place because they shouldn't be taking part in that. So if they had taken a few moments to go through, right, and said, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Possibly they would have made the decision to keep the comment to themselves. And I mention these things in terms of the yoga principles because if you didn't know, I am a yogi. That means a practitioner of yoga. I am also a trained yoga teacher. But as a teacher, I'm in constant learning as well, right? And that's why I responded with, hey, if you're practicing the yama, the observance of non harming, truthfulness, right? Then you wouldn't have made this comment. Or if you were practicing the yama of Satya, right? Well, Satya is truthfulness, but Ahimsa is nonviolence, non-harming, because nothing about the comment was helpful, right? And in this current state of the world where there's a lot of things going on with a lot of different people in a lot of different places across the globe, we can self-regulate by using tools like think before we react. Tools like think help us to respond instead of react, right? And I talk about this a lot here on this channel in terms of emotional awareness. You don't want to just jump out there. You want to think, be mindful, be present in the present moment, think carefully. And so, no pun intended, I am offering that when you are feeling like you have a immediate reaction to something and you would like to have some words to say about it, right? Think, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring, necessary, or kind? And if what you have to say does not meet, or in some people's terms, fails any of those 5 criteria, then perhaps you shouldn't say that. Perhaps you should use those questions to see how you can formulate a response that does meet that criteria. So until next time, when you're feeling like you want to just jump out there and react, think. Bye bye.